Hey, what's up, guys? What's up in Wall Street here. So I got a great question from one of our traders, GoHawks14, right? And he asked, he's like, "Hey, Ryan, I have been practicing futures and paper trading, and it's been going great. A question that I have is that I have a tendency to buy and sell the moment the market structure or any signal is alerted in Discord blindly. Can I keep doing this? I do set a stop loss of 8 to 10 points. If I wait for it to touch support resistance, I do have the fear of missing out." And this is a great question, very relatable, and I completely understand where you're coming from, right? So we're going to use an example of the signals from our Discord room that you have access to at 12:50 p.m. that happened on Friday. So let's take a look at this quick. Um, Bam, right here. So you got the signal in this range, and the signal came at pretty low, and we did drop much lower, and we even dropped much lower to our end of the day as well, right? But that's a X1 signal, which means your entry should be within 0 to 10 minutes. So you have 0 to 10 minutes for entry on the X1 signal, and it's going to play out anywhere from 10 to 30 minutes, right? So once you see that entry, you could start a position because of FOMO, but if you're going to start that initial position, your stop loss, you don't want to have it 8 to 10 points on the ES. I mean, on MES is probably how I'll play it. You probably don't want to have the stop loss that tight because recently the market has been moving so much that a 10-minute candle is easily 20 points. So what you want to do is you want to base your stop loss on what a 10 to 30-minute candle is. If this play can be valid from 10 to 30 minutes, right? So then if your 10 to 30-minute candle average is around 20 points, you want to keep your stop loss at 20 points because we know at the end of the day, this is a good trade most of the time. And the only time it's not a good trade is when it invalidates itself. And if it invalidates itself, the stop loss will hit, right? So that being said, you get the FOMO, you get the signal, feel a little FOMO, start our one contract entry on one MES, right? Going in there. And then as it come back to this resistance in the 1 minute, the yellow line here, the top and the top here, you want to start another position here. And then once you start this position here at 57.18, you can sell at 57.13 if you want. That's almost 5 points, or and then if you see another opportunity again, you can add another position here. So the first contract, I probably start with 1 or 2. The second one here, I probably add at least 2 MES, and then over here, I probably add at least another 2 MES for a total of 5 contracts if I start my initial with 1, right? And and then as things move further down, I probably will take profit at this orange moving average here, which is 57.10. So if I caught it at 57.18 to 57.10, that's a nice 8-point move, right? And then if you take it further, you can take it to 57.07, which is this red moving average here, and that's a great trade. So that's how I would do it. And I understand, I hear you, man. Sometimes you have the fear of missing out. That's why we play with only one contract. But as a good trader, you should continue to develop the mindset of so be it. If you miss a trade, so be it. There'll be another day, there'll be another trade. As long as you're alive, as long as your account is available, as long as you don't lose a lot of money, you live to fight another day. That's all that matters. So remember that concept. I hope that helps. And if you have any other questions, feel free to ask. I would love to help you guys become more successful and make it more easy for you guys to make money, because these signals essentially free money here. And then some of you guys might ask, like, hey, Ryan, you're only making 8 points with a 20-point stop loss, or maybe like 10 points, 15 points with a 20% stop loss, right? How are you making money? Well, the thing is, what's your edge, right? That's another question you need to ask. Like, how successful are these signals? How often does these signals succeed? If these signals succeed 9 out of 10 times, or 8 out of 10 times, and only 2 times you lose money, and the 2 times you lose money, you lose 20 points, right? But the other 8 times to 10 times, you're making like 5 points to 15 points, right? That's an average of 7 points, give or take. Then you have, like, let's say you have, you're doing 20 trades, right? 20 trades, you're gonna have 17 of those trades that are 16 of those trades that are gonna make money, right? Let's say 80% success rate. So 16 times 7 points, right? That's 112 points versus the 4 trades that you're gonna lose money, right? That would be 20 points times 4. So that's 80. You're still coming up ahead. You're still coming out way more then you're gonna lose, you know? So that's another way that you would want to look at it if you're always considering about the ratio of like win and loss to like how much I make versus how much I'm risking. That's the other side of the spectrum that nobody ever really looks at, which is a silly way to think about things. So I hope that addresses that as well, and I hope that helps. Good luck. Have a great week ahead, and hope you guys make money, man. Take care.